June 30th. The final line in the calendar, but not just any day. There's something about today that you can't quite name. A silence behind the noise. A pause that feels louder than movement. And if you're energetically sensitive, you've already felt it. The strange heaviness when you woke up. The moments of stillness that don't feel peaceful, but charged. Like something is watching, waiting, but not from the outside. From within, this is not just the last day of the month. It's the energetic seal, the spiritual timestamp, the final imprint. The decisions you made in June, the emotions you buried, the truths you whispered to yourself, they're all being filed now by your energy field, your soul, and something much larger. Today isn't about new beginnings. It's about karmic closure, energetic balance, and final edits to the vibrational script you've been living this month. As the lunar cycle wanes and the moon prepares to reset, so too does your field, your path, your portal. You might feel like you're floating between worlds, present but distant, clear but overwhelmed. This is what happens when the portal begins to close. And what you do or don't do in the next 24 hours matters more than you realize. In this video, I'll guide you through exactly what's happening today, the symptoms you may be feeling, the spiritual mechanics behind them, and most importantly, how to align yourself for what July is already preparing to bring. So stay with me until the end, because this moment is not just the end of something, it's a handoff into something new. And how you exit will echo into how you begin. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Portal closing symptoms. So what exactly are you feeling right now? Fatigue that doesn't match your schedule? Moments of random emotion that seem to come from nowhere? An invisible weight sitting on your chest, or a distant ringing in your ears? This isn't just exhaustion from the month, it's energetic recalibration, as the June frequency portal prepares to seal shut. See, every month carries a unique vibrational code. June was about activation, adjustment, and karmic choices made in real time. Now on this final day, the energy is doing what it always does at the end of a cycle. It's sweeping the field. This is when unresolved emotions rise to the surface, not to punish you, but to be cleared, consciously. Your body might ache in strange places, especially in the joints, the chest, or the lower back. This isn't a coincidence. These are storage zones for old decisions, patterns, and energetic contracts. Your soul is ready to release. You may find yourself sighing more than usual, or yawning, even when you're not tired. That's your nervous system trying to regulate itself, to release what you haven't consciously processed. Tears may come, not from sadness, but from a soft overwhelm that has no words. The portal is closing, and your energy field is scanning for what can't come with you into the next chapter. You may also feel strangely disconnected from your routine. Tasks feel heavier, distractions feel louder. Even joyful things may seem muted or distant. This is because your awareness is temporarily pulled inward. Your soul knows this is a checkpoint, and it wants you present for it. Not performing, not rushing, but listening. You might experience flashes of memory from earlier this month. Small moments, decisions, conversations that seemed unimportant at the time, but now carry an emotional weight. That's your subconscious doing a final review. If something is unresolved, today is when it returns, not to haunt, but to offer clarity. You may also notice your technology glitching, batteries draining faster, apps freezing, screens flickering, because your personal frequency is shifting faster than your devices can adapt. You are, quite literally, sinking out of this version of time. This isn't imagination, it's energetic truth, and it's happening whether you name it or not. So if today feels strange, offbeat, out of sync, know this: you're not falling behind, you're being pulled inward for review. Your job isn't to fix anything today, it's to observe, allow, and align. We'll talk more about how to do that later in the video. But for now, just know, these symptoms aren't glitches. They're signals your soul is closing the books on June, and it's doing it through your body. Chapter 2. Karmic Ledger and Soul Audits. Let's move deeper, because today isn't just about what you feel. It's about what's being recorded. June wasn't just a month in your life, it was a chapter in your karmic curriculum. And today, June 30th, is when the energetic ledger gets reviewed, not by someone outside of you, but by the deeper parts of you, your soul, your guides, the version of you that remembers why you incarnated in the first place. All month long, you've been making micro-decisions. What to say, what to suppress, who to trust, who to forgive, when to listen, and when to avoid what your gut already knew. And now, those decisions are echoing. If you've been feeling a sense of vague tension or unfinished business, that's not anxiety, it's spiritual accounting. The energy of this day has a very specific frequency. It brings up anything that was left halfway, conversations that ended in silence, emotions that were felt but not honored, opportunities you ignored. Out of fear, all of that comes forward now, not as punishment, but as perspective. You may have dreams tonight, where you revisit people you haven't seen in years, or suddenly think of something you said 3 weeks ago and feel a shift in your body. This is not random. This is your soul's audit, not in a judgmental way, but in a clarifying way. What patterns did you repeat? What boundaries did you hold? What parts of yourself started to rise this month, even if no one else noticed? Because all of that gets weighed in today's field. You might even notice people reaching out today unexpectedly, old friends, unresolved ties, people you thought were out of your life for good. That's karma too, closing loops, returning what's still open. Sometimes that shows up as a text you weren't expecting. Sometimes it's just a thought that won't let go. But there's one more piece of this karmic day that most people miss. It's not just about what you did. It's about what you withheld, the truth you didn't speak, the boundary you didn't set, the self-love you didn't choose. This energy is subtle but exact. And here's the part that matters most. Whatever remains unprocessed at midnight will begin to carry into July, not as punishment, but as curriculum. The more conscious you are of what's incomplete, the more power you have to either resolve it or release it. So if something's been bothering you, if you feel called to write something down or speak something out loud, even just to yourself, do it. That may be the exact release your system needs to seal the energy properly. And if nothing feels incomplete, that's your sign that you've aligned your field well. The ledger is neutral. It's not here to shame you. It's here to show you. And the sooner you look, the lighter you'll feel. Chapter 3. Timeline, Echoes and Decision Points. Now let's talk about something stranger. Something that might already be happening to you. You might be sensing echoes, like time is looping, or moments from earlier this month are repeating in a new form. A similar conversation, a familiar emotion, a pattern you thought you broke. This isn't coincidence. This is a timeline echo. Your energy is moving through the final checkpoint of June's vibrational pattern, and it's asking a single question: are you going to make the same choice again, or a different one? You may find yourself standing in front of a familiar decision, one you thought you already made, but now there's a twist. This time, it feels more urgent or more subtle, and that's on purpose, because the universe often repeats a lesson right before a shift to see if you've truly integrated what you've learned. Today, June 30th, is filled with subtle energetic mirrors. You may find yourself reacting to something in a new way and realizing, wait, that would have triggered me 2 weeks ago. That's not just growth, that's timeline correction, because when we respond differently, we rewrite our place in the pattern. But this energy isn't always loud. In fact, the biggest choice points today may not come with fireworks. They come with a whisper, a sense that you're being nudged gently towards something or away from it. It may feel like a gut-level no to something you would have said yes to before, or a bold yes to something your old self would have doubted. Pay attention to those inner shifts today. They're not mental, they're magnetic, they're part of the timeline sorting process. And here's the deeper layer. When you shift a timeline, your body will often react. You might feel sudden dizziness, temperature changes, or even emotional spikes that don't match your environment. This is energetic displacement, your field dropping one thread and picking up another. Some call this quantum pivoting, and it often happens in silence without you realizing it in the moment. But later, you'll look back and know something clicked. So don't rush through today. Even the smallest choice, what you say yes to, what you walk away from, what you allow or release, has weight. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present, because presence is the most powerful frequency shifter there is. And today, the universe is listening very closely, not to your words, but to your alignment. Chapter 4. Portal Seal and Frequency Lock. Let's talk about what happens next. Because tonight, when the clock strikes midnight, something subtle but profound will take place. The portal will seal, and with it, your frequency will set. Think of today like the final tone of a song, the last vibration that lingers in the air long after the sound has ended. That vibration is you, the version of you that made it through June, not just physically, but energetically. And whatever frequency you fall asleep with tonight, whatever energy you carry into your dreams, that becomes the resonance you carry into July. Now that might sound intense, but it's not about pressure. It's about presence. Because right now, as this portal narrows, your choices become magnified. Not just what you do, but how you do it. Are you rushing to tie up loose ends? Or are you honoring your process without panic? Are you trying to fix your feelings? Or are you sitting with them and listening? Because alignment isn't about perfect thoughts. It's about vibrational honesty. And right now, honesty carries more spiritual weight than positivity ever could. So how do you prepare for this frequency lock? 3 simple things. First, create space. That could mean canceling a plan, stepping outside, turning off your phone for an hour. Stillness amplifies signal. Second, clear your energy. Take a shower, burn some incense, write down what you're releasing, and speak it aloud. Let your field know, this is what I'm not bringing with me into July. And third, choose your tone. Not your mood, your tone. That's the subtle undercurrent of your awareness. It's not what you feel, it's how you carry what you feel. Even if you're grieving, even if you're unsure, can you hold it with grace? Can you witness yourself without turning away? Because that tone becomes the anchor. You don't need to be blissful to align, you just need to be real. Let this final day be soft, even if it's messy. Let it be honest, even if it's unfinished. Let it be sacred, even in its silence. Because that's how portals close. Not with fireworks, but with reverence. And if you do that, when July arrives, it will arrive for you, not just as a date, but as a doorway. Chapter 5. Empowerment, Activation, and Final Guidance. So now, the portal is nearly closed. And here you are, standing at the edge of it. Not just as a witness, but as a participant. As someone who has felt this month in your bones, moved through it with quiet strength, with sacred awareness. Maybe it wasn't easy. Maybe you broke down. Maybe you broke through. But you're still here. And that means something in you chose evolution. Something in you said, I'm ready for what comes next. That readiness doesn't always look brave. Sometimes it looks like crying in your car. Sometimes it looks like saying no when no one else understands. Sometimes it's just staying awake to what your body is feeling, instead of numbing it out. That's spiritual leadership. And whether you realize it or not, that's what you've been doing this month. Leading energetically into a new phase, And here's what's important to remember. You don't have to feel high vibe today to be in alignment. You don't have to feel clear to be on path. You just have to feel. You just have to choose not to turn away from the signal your soul is sending. Because alignment is a relationship, and the more honest you are with what's present, the more magnetic your field becomes. So if you feel raw today, good. That means you're not in denial. If you feel neutral or quiet, good. That means you're stabilizing. If you feel powerful, even better. But even if you don't, remember, power doesn't always arrive with a roar. Sometimes it shows up in a whisper, a breath, a choice you make to stay present for one more moment. That's enough. You are enough, and what you've been through this month, even if no one else saw it, even if it didn't look dramatic on the surface, it counted. You don't need a dramatic ending to close this cycle powerfully. You just need one moment of truth, one final breath that says, "This is who I choose to be moving forward." And when you say that, even silently, the portal hears you. And so does everything you're about to call in. The portal closes, but you begin. So here we are. The last light of June is fading, and a new current is about to begin. If today felt strange, if your body spoke in tension, dreams or silence, you're not alone. You're not off track. You're not imagining it. You're just in tune. The ones who feel it first are always the ones who carry the frequency for what's next. You don't need to know the full map. You just need to honor where you are right now. Because the way you close this cycle will echo into how the next one begins. So as you move through the final hours of this portal, give yourself space, clear with intention. Rest if you need to. Cry if you need to. Reflect if it helps. But above all, be honest. Not for the world, for you. Because that truth is what sets the tone for your July. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you. Thank you for choosing awareness in a world that rushes past the sacred. Thank you for feeling when so many numb out. If today brought something up for you, share it in the comments, even just a word or phrase. What are you closing? What are you choosing? Your voice might be exactly what someone else needs to see. And if you want to keep walking this path with me, you're always welcome to subscribe and stay connected. But whether or not you do, know this. You are seen, you are shifting, and the energy you've cultivated this month will go with you into everything that comes next. Take care, and I'll see you on the other side of the portal.